fancy setup.
All right, Rick, we're here at Working Class Brewery. Show us around.
All right, so it's a 10-barrel brewery, oversized to really about 13 barrels.
Nice.
What we normally brew, we can go 15 barrels on your average German beer. We need to get some 30-barrel fermenters, but yeah, that's on the to-do list, right?
That's right.
So this is when I had this designed, they told me it didn't exist, and I'm like, well, there's like 3 systems in Cleveland that are designed kind of like ours, and that's the idea of having a mash kettle. So we actually start the process. We mash in the same vessel that we boil in.
Oh,
So,
okay.
the grain gets milled back there and it goes up into our grist case. And so it's steam jacketed and it goes through the process. Most beers are, one step and then a knockout. But some of our beers are step mashed, so they go sit at different temperatures. And then it drains. Well, no, actually, then the whole thing pumps up over here. So the grist all pumps into our lauter tun, which separates the liquid from the grain. And you can see our false bottom in here. Let me move this. Standard with any brew system, you have to separate the liquid from the grain, right? So that's
you want the liquid.
That's what the lauter is for. It's got the false bottom, so the liquid flows through this slotted bottom.
Oh, that's so cool.
And then it goes through an inspection grant. So we're looking to see that the wort is clear and free of pieces of grain. And when that's done, it goes through its process, then it flows back to the kettle where we boil it. So that initial vessel that we started in, again, it's called a mash kettle. I was told it didn't exist, but it did. It was an older brewery manufacturer in southern Ohio called Century. So they're out of business now, but they were really German design systems, and they were all mash kettles. So Rocky River has one, Buckeye Brewing had one, Thirsty Dog had one. So they're around, and they were built like tanks, and that's why they're still around. Then after our boil, we have a whirlpool on the bottom. So sometimes this is a hot water. Most of the time you'll see a hot water tank down there, but I had a whirlpool put down there, and then we have a separate hot water tank on the other side of the kettle. So it goes through its whirlpool, and then we have a giant heat exchanger, which brings it down to fermentation temperature. Right? And then it just gets pumped into one of our fermenters.
Nice. And then it becomes tasty beer.
It becomes tasty beer. Sometimes we're adding hops at the last minute in here. Sometimes we're dropping them in the top of the fermenters. If you look way back on top of one of these, you can see we have a little baby tank. She's right up there right now. And a hop dropper. It's a little baby tank that drops the hops into there without introducing any oxygen into the process. So that helps keep it fresh.
It's so cool.
And you can see this one made a mess all over the place.
That's okay. It means you're making stuff. And then you've got all your grains back here.
Well,
all your
we
malt.
try to bring in grain as we need it, but a lot of our colored specialty malts that give beer color and different flavors we use in smaller proportions. So we have half sacks and sacks of it sitting around. This is our mill back here, which just goes in the day before, goes up to the top, and we're ready to roll. We have a boiler back here. That steam is the gentle heat that it's better than the electric or the flame. It's more gentle and works really well. So that's about it. It's a little brewery. One of our popular beers is called Funkason. It is a Belgian ale aged in white wine barrels with Brettanomyces. So that's what these are. They're white wine barrels, and they are ready. The beer's ready to come out of them. It's been sitting in there. Really, only 6-7 months for Brettanomyces usually is fine, but it's been a year. And things were a little bit slower this past year. So
it should be delicious.
we're in need of it. we're on our last keg. So.
And there you go.
And then it'll
all the
probably be
kegs
bottled.
ready to
this
go.
time. Yeah, then kegs ready to go.